Good evening, team. I wish to welcome you all to this lecture for the new course that is the Microsoft package. I wish you'll be able to follow through like the way we did in the previous course. For those that followed through the previous course, we learned that there are two types of softwares on a computer. There are system softwares. So system softwares, we talked of the operating system, and the application softwares. So application softwares are those user-friendly. What we are able to see on the desktop are mostly application softwares because they are sitting on top of the operating system. So we have Zoom that we use for online conferencing. We have Microsoft Edge, that is the browser we use for typing. We have basically different applications that we get to use. But today specifically want to go into the Microsoft Office. And in starting, if you want to, your Microsoft Office could have been installed on your computer. If it is not installed, you need to get it installed. Once it is installed, to open any segment you want, what we do is, please pay attention. We don't put, you can look at the Halo that is moving on the screen. I'm putting my Halo on the free desktop. I'm not putting on top of any of these icons or anything that is here. I'm putting on top on the free desktop. Then I right click. So right click on the mouse, it brings me that tab. From there, I'm going to specifically press on the new. So when you go to the new, it opens up another tab that shows you what you want. So part of the Microsoft, anything that has Microsoft, you can see Microsoft Access, Microsoft Word. This is the one we're interested in. There's Microsoft PowerPoint. There's Microsoft Publisher. Is Microsoft Excel. So basically, that is how they are going to come out, all the applications. So let's get through the introduction of what we are going to study. I'm opening the Welcome to SmartNet. So here we are. So I wish to welcome you to SmartNet Edu Center. So mostly it's to deal with it's an online training system that allows people to use the easy accessible devices. We've got Zoom, but we are not using Zoom for various reasons due to connectivity and other challenges for compatibility and the devices such that will be needed for students to get to access the information. So it has been made open that we are going to use easier methods that are going to be communicated to different people, and team members can be able to follow through and participate. So we're going to start the Microsoft Office package. And in the Microsoft Office package, we can see these 7 different aspects that are going to be considered. Under it, there is Microsoft Word, there is Excel, Publisher, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook, and Access. Mostly, Outlook is not counted as a facet for Microsoft Office, though it is, but most it is just a Gmail or a browser. So it's a mailing service. So it's for mailing. You find it's like basically the Gmail, the way you use the Gmail, the way you that's Outlook itself. So mostly we will have the 6 days. We will cover them in the same line they are in. Microsoft Outlook, we'll just look at it, or we'll just look at it at length. The time will be considered in the OneNote, so that this access can be on the 6th day, then the 7th day of the for certification. We also want to encourage you, please feel free to leave comments and subscribe to our YouTube or slash Facebook page for more IT lectures. So whenever we give you a link to such sites, go like it, subscribe to follow through for other lectures so that you're able to keep updating your information. What is more important is the skill building. That is definitely really important in this IT time or world we're living in now. So this course is being delivered in 3 different languages. There's English, there's Swahili, there's French. And part of the coordinators are solely the instructors. Instructing in this course, you'll have the Daniel Gallego, there's Ishmael Blamin. We have Maxwell Mwape, that is hi. There's Mukwani Samoa for the other different languages. So please feel free. We have all been putting the languages where we feel we are comfortable to liaise and follow through. But should you wish to change the class, you're free to be changed for the later lectures. Away from that, We have two classes for English. Class one is this class one and class two. So Maxwell Mwape will go on with class two. Class one, another member will take it up for this course. So straight away, we want to go into the Microsoft Office. So, like we have said, to open a document for Microsoft on the startup first, fresh startup, we said you're going to right. When you right click, it is going to go, you're going to pick the new, whether you're using Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, 10, 11. I'm using Windows 11, so it looks a bit different. But when you come to new, specifically today we want to so-called Microsoft Word. So you can click there. Once you click, the word comes, the one that has come here, and it gives you room for you to type a new name. So you can call it Lecture 1 Microsoft MS. So that is just that. Once you're done, you open. What this does is at least you have a specific location where whatever information that you had here will be getting saved. So if I write, I am here to stay. So what I'll do is, what I've written here, I need to, there's a certain icon that you see, the save icon. It will be different. On different versions of Microsoft, it will be on top, somewhere on top here. So you pay attention to where it is. It will be somewhere here. This one that looks like a trackpad for your mouse pad. That is a save pad. So once you press it, it's adding now information to that page that we opened. We had opened on the desktop there. We had opened this one, lecture Mac, lecture MS. And this, we are going to pick up from there. So whatever information that we add needs to keep being added. If at this point I never save this, then the computer goes off, it will open with no information because this information was not saved before deleting or before closing. So we pay attention that information should be stored at multiple points that where we type. When you click on save, you'll see down here, it will be saying saving information. When there are a lot of things, it will be showing. Just that there are too few, so it's too fast. So the most important thing that you need to understand is there's what we call the zoom in. Down here, we are having the zoom in, zoom out. So this makes you to resize the size of this page that you're working with. If you want it to go to be lower, so to say, to be small, you can resize it. If you want it to be large, you can enlarge it. So basically, this is just going to allow you to resize, get it bigger, smaller, basically that. And away from that, it will now, you're going to view documents in different formats. Basically, that will be, we'll explain that later. So we want to come straight forward here. So we have the home, the insert, the design, the layout, the references, the mailing, the review, and the view. And this important, tell me what you want. So these are the parts that we are going to go to understand our Microsoft Office. Before we go into the Microsoft Office Word specifically, I want to introduce you to this nice feature you're seeing here, which is saying off. This feature here, it's called speech recognition. On all computers, it is there. This basically helps for you to type with your words. As I'm talking, my Microsoft Office Word can be typing for me. So what do I mean? Or how do you get this application installed? It is simple. When you just go on your computer where it says search, be it in Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows what, you just type speech recognition. It will pop up. So when you go speech recognition, it will take you through those steps. It is opening Windows speech recognition. So once it pops up, it takes you into different stages where you're going down to, it wants to get to know your voice. So you come here, start speech recognition. So on starting speech recognition, it will get to give you some words to read so that it gets to know your words, the way you pronounce words. It gets to know the language you're using. After it gets to know, then later on now from there, you're going to be, it is going to pop up like the way I've done it here. So it will follow through stage one, stage two of that, setting up your mic to make sure that everything is fine. Once you're done, then you're good to go. So this facet is very important. It makes you to type with your mouth. So if you want to book from someone, instead of you going to photocopy or do what, maybe it's an assignment and it's a last minute assignment, you want to enter it, you can just be reading your friend's assignment as you are reading. On the other hand, it's typing and add the punctuations if maybe you missed out, but you can also speak out the punctuations and the computer will work just like normal. So how does it get to work? So once you do it to tell you, it's a simple instruction, just that I've already done it on my computer. So once you just go and start speech recognition, once it takes your voice, it tells you next, it will pop up and it will stick on top. Then it will ask you, do you want it to be automatically or manually turned on? I like putting manual, so I put it there. So once it's done like that, that's all that matters. You can now go to your blank page in the Microsoft Office, the one we started with. So lecture MSCA on this button here. Once I start, it starts listening. So any word I'll be saying should be written. I'm using someone else's computer, so to say. So now you find that what I'm saying, it is typing, but it will be typing because it hasn't gotten my voice. You haven't set the language according to what is needed. So it's it's written a lot of things that I don't even understand here. It's actually typing what I'm saying right now. Let my name is Maxwell. Mwate. Wow. Yeah. So I've closed it. So like you can see, it basically gets to link your system, and it will get to get once you integrate it, because you personalize it. So once you go through it, you set up, you put your names, your details there. You go, you type, you give you different words that you're going to read. Then it gets to know how your tongue is, how you pronounce letters, words, and such. Once you know that we are good to go, then you can just be able to type through. So that is, I use it instead of typing. I'm not too fast with the keyboard. Sometimes you could not be too fast. I could be fast enough for myself, but you might need that aspect to get to use for typing. So now we have different facets. We have the home, the insert, the design, layout, references, mailing, review, and the view. So first, want to go into them. The first part is the file. File mainly is you are done typing. Now, basically, you want to make use of that information that you finished typing. And there's also, when you just open, because I've been using this computer, the Microsoft Office, when you just open your Microsoft Office, a new one, it goes to this segment, the new. It brings you the blank page there, the one that we got where we have started typing those. But it also gives you very nice features that you can get to use, e.g., education letters that you can get to use. So it will give you a template. A template is basically like a design that has already been made. So you just need to fill in the words. So if you can see here, there are different given where I can just go and fill in CVs, different cards, maybe cards, invitation cards, and such. A lot of different ones. So what I'll do is I'll just pick it and type in where there's a picture, you change, you put your picture. Where there are words, you can get to do that. Microsoft has given you for free. Once you have this software installed, Microsoft Word, it will get to have that, and then you just type in and it comes out as good as such. Categories to pick from. You can take books, maybe a book cover, the title of a book, how it's going to be, uh, a lot of things. The flyers, you're going to different category. But our interest was in the blank page, and the blank page is where we are now. So the blank page is here. Now we want to move. So we said the file part is when we are done with the document. Now we want to export it. We want to save the document. So this is a new, we want to open a new document. We want to open maybe on the open, want to open maybe an order Word that we had a page that we had typed on. Now it has been closed or what, want to open it. The save, want to keep saving, like we had said on the desktop there, we have saved ours as lecture MS. Now save as, do you want to change the format? Do you want to save it as a PDF, as a picture, or any other things, you can do that. Then the print, it will, once you press on the print, you press on it, it will bring you now to check the computer, the printers that you have connected to the computer, so that that information can be able to be printed out. Then you'll be able to change the format, the size, and everything that you're going to do. The share, you want to share this information. So I'm connected to the internet. I can basically get to share this document that I'll make through an email, through WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp installed through different various aspects. I'll be able to use the different social platforms or other Outlook and other services. I'll be able to use it. There's different softwares that I have for sharing information. I can get to do that. So you export. Export is also different. It's like you're sending to someone, but allowing you to save it in a different format or other segments. And the close. Then account is basically showing you the version of the voice office you're using, what version, the license, basically. So this gives you most the information and how to use, how do you want to output that information, the information that you have done typing. Now, so basically that is the first part. Now we come to the home. So most of the people who have used Microsoft Office, they have mostly tangled around the home page, the home segment. So on the home segment, this basically allows you to alter the way these words are going to be. If you see this word, there is chief. So this chief word, if I double click, it highlights. Now pay attention. I've just done double clicks, it highlights. If I do, let me remove the cursor. Let me do three clicks. 1, 2, 3. It highlights the whole word, the whole sentence, so to say. So double click highlights only one word. Triple click highlights the whole sentence. So then I can able now on now, I double click, I've just now. So when I'm there, I come to home. Home allows me, I can make it bold to be darker than the rest of the page. So I've done that. I can basically get to do a lot of things. I can italize it to make it be slanting a bit. It will allow me to get to do that. I can make it. I can basically get to underline it. I can get to change the font in which it's supposed to be in. So if you see the one that I've highlighted, once I'm traveling through the fonts, it is also changing. So I can change the font to the one that I like, and it will come out like that. I can basically draw a line on it like I've cancelled, be it maybe I'm a lecturer or someone, then I'm marking your work that you've done. I'll just maybe tell you cancel or do a correction on this information that you wrote. So you can get to do that. I'll get to change the font size. Here I was changing the font type. Here is the font size. So I want it to be bigger, smaller. I can get to work around that and it will be done like that. So this get to do from this segment. So now coming to here, I can change the design. How do I want the text to look like? So the text type, I'll get to change the way it's supposed to look like. And you see different designs will be made from just that. Away from that, you can see if I'll pick this. Now, when I come here, I want these words to be getting bigger. I don't know what size they are in. Here I'm doing a manual number people. This is the size I want it to grow by. But now what of if I don't know the size, but I just want it to be bigger than the rest? So this is better. It will show there is the one that's showing the pointer arrow up. So once I keep pressing that one, the words will be getting bigger and bigger. And the font you'll be seeing, the font will be also increasing and reducing. So it will tell me to the size that I want instead of manually just going there, but this one will take me there. Then here I can get to change now the letters. What I want is, if I want to change the case of the word, the lowercase, I want to make them small letters. They are all small letters, so they will remain like that. Uppercase, I can capitalize them. So small case, I'll make them in in small letters, capitalize them, capitalize each word. So if I want just the first letter of the word to be capitalized, I'll come here. The first letters of the word will be capitalized. So if you can see there, the S has been capitalized. So uh, away from there, you get to see our have a segment where I can get to maybe use a subscript, that is a letter, a small number underneath. I can get to put a number underneath, or the letter or the highlighted, because that one was highlighted. So they are putting a date, you're putting x to the power what, or any number to the power something, I can get to do that. But if also I want to put a word maybe to be slightly lower or up, I can get to do that. Same applies, I can put it up using the superscript. So I can put up and down according to the way I want. As long as it is highlighted here, if this one you see it's highlighted, whatever this one, if it's highlighted, will be bold, underlined, closed over. So if I want to remove what is feature it's showing there, I just need to click on it again. Then that feature effect has been removed. So now, e.g., I have a list of things. So let's say we have tomato, uh, banana, we have guava, we have apple, we have lemon, we have spinach. Okay, let me end there. So I have a list of, so this list of things, if I want, when I highlight this list of things, just by, you've seen, I've put my cursor on the last word and I've held it to drag up all the words so that I select them. When I come to home here, on a different, pressing here, I can basically get to put, I can differently. If I come here, I come on the numbers, they'll be numbered. If I come here, they'll be given a form. So I can pick the type of a bullet that I want, the one that I want to represent those list of things that I've put. So I can come to the numbers. The numbers also, I can pick out, do they fall, which format? Do I want letters? Do I want Roman numerals? Do I want A, B, C, D? Do I want capitalized? I want what? Or I just want it to be blank. Then I'll leave it as blank as it's supposed to be. So there are different to make them on the slanting side. I'll put them so that they keep the slanting side. I'll get to pick different categories that will allow me to do a lot of things with numbers, letters, and as such. So now, e.g., I've listed this. Then here I want to say this is a vegetable. So, but I want to distinguish it from the rest. I just say uh, this is a vegetable. So I put this, wait, I drop it down, I move the number in. So this one I'm saying tomato is a vegetable. What I can do is I don't want them to start in this line. If you see them, they were all falling in they were all falling in the same line. If you notice, they're all falling in the same line. But I want it to start maybe to come further. So what I can get to do is I'll just put my cursor in front here and I'll come, then I'll come, there's a push the weight. So I can push the weight to go a bit inside. That is giving a space so that they don't fall in the same category, because this one is just defining what this is. This one is just a definition of this. So I don't want it to fall in the same line to look like a list of the fruits or the highlighted components that have been given, saying this is a vegetable. And I'll get to do that. The spelling is wrong for a specific reason because we are coming to that. So it will allow me to get to do alterations that are going to be there. And if you see, uh, I want maybe, I put maybe list of fruits, list of fruits. So I put this as a list of fruits. I want it to look a bit different. I'll put a dark spot. What you're seeing here is basically what you're seeing on the home part. Basically, that is what is coming there. So I put list of fruits, though we know that tomato is a vegetable. So What I want is I don't want this to be in the middle here. I want it to be at the center. So you come to the home part. When you come on the home, this now can tell me where the which position I want to put. Do I want to be on the left side of the page? Do I want to be on the right side of the page? Do I want to be just centrally located? Or do I just want it to evenly be distributed from one end to the other end? I want to be centrally located so it looks like a poster. So I'll put it there. Do I want to increase the poster, the size? Or do I want to change the font? Yes, maybe specifically I want to change. I want to go to Algerian. So I've changed to Algerian and I want to change the font. Maybe I put 20. So I've come to the list of fruits and I've listed fruited one because it is a vegetable and I've put them in that list. So different aspect will help us in different way. And just by the pointer, the way it will look, it will come like that. But then I have this, but they are not maybe in the line of order with alphabetical order. So I can come to this and it will tell me, what do you want to put them? The text, their texts, yes, in ascending or descending order. Do you want them to start from Z going to A or from A to Z? I want them in an ascending order. So it will change them and it will arrange them actually. So Apple was supposed to be the first one, B was supposed to be in the normal order. So I can work around with a lot of information, just be able to manipulate it as such. And Office will get to give me, Word specifically will get to give me these facets. So from here, you can see if I have these words that are here, I've written here, change. If you see when I put on any design, uh, list of fruits, you've seen they are changing the colors and the looks and everything. So basically, you see this in the design. So this one will just get to give me different styles that will get to present my information in a different category. So get to look at this in a more detailed space when we reach there. So the home part will be able to allow me to enter the word details, be able to customize them, change them accordingly. I can change the letter of the color of the word, like we had earlier said. I can change the background. I can pick a color that I want of one specific word and it will come like that. And it will look differently like that because there's a color that I've picked and it goes like that. So there's a lot you can get to do with Microsoft Office Word. We come to the insert. So you'll see that Microsoft Office has different facets that are going to allow us to alter and make a presentation of something in a better way that we feel it can get to be presented in. So we come to insertion. So the inserting, we can insert a cover page. It is an assignment you're writing. So now you want to put a cover page. So you can just go on the cover page, pop it out. Once the cover page be able to open, you are able to pick the type of the cover page which you want. And you're able to put information. So I pick this cover page. When I've this cover page, I can be able to change and edit some information that has been put either from the abstract as it can be seen from here. There are things that are there. I'll be able to change and alter it. My computer is just taking a bit of some time to respond. So the cover page will be able to pop in and we'll be able to insert and do one or two things to it, make it presentable as it can be. So there are samples that will be there that will be given once we just come on the cover page. The blank page there, that will just leave, maybe you want one page to be left free, you just go on the blank page. Then so you are keeping maybe 2 3 blank pages on the document because you want it to be maybe to have a number page but it's blank, but it just has just a number. You want to omit, maybe you want to put number 1 to 20, but you want 15 and 18 to be left blank. When you don't go with a blank page, you do that, it will just count according to where they have written. But you want to add blank pages, but you keep space. Maybe it's a question you have asked, someone needs to draw something, needs to, it's a questionnaire you have put. So yeah, allowing that we have the page break. Page break basically is e.g. I type only few things in this page here on the list of fruits. I've ended here. Now I've ended here, maybe I'm typing a CV or something. Then now I want to break the page. This ends, I start another page. Instead of going with the pointer, the arrow, I start going down in space, enter, enter, enter. It starts coming down. The easiest thing I can just come is a page break. So automatically on the page break, it will jump me to another page and I'll start writing information on the new page. So instead of going scrolling down, dropping down, I'll just jump and it will take me there without any challenge. So this is an insertion of tables. The tables, the rows will be tables that we want according to the numbers that we want, and the tables will come out. And from the able to adjust what we want. If we want the first one maybe to be big, the other one smaller than the, it will give us options where we are going to move. Is it the column we want to adjust? Is it what want to make bigger? The other one want to make the whole page, the whole different. You can see from here we are gives us a lot of options that we can get to do in the insertion category. So we can even insert a picture, e.g. we want to add a picture in our document. So we can go on inserting a picture. So it has also online pictures. So if you wanted to Google up a picture, you do what, you can go there. Here where we have maybe you want to pick a picture, there's a picture that you want, you'll be able to get it and be able to insert in the document that you feel like getting. So e.g. Someone has this document, this picture, want to insert it in the document. So we have this document and there's this picture that is here, regardless of anything. So we can get to resize it. And you notice something, when I just inserted the picture, it takes me first to the format because it wants to tell me there are a lot of things that I want. Do I want a background? Do I want my background to be put, to be shown, to be faint? In what position do I want to put it? Do I want it to have a kind of a shadow down underneath it? Do I want it to have a template? So all these adjustments will come and I'll be able to edit this information. So this picture, if I want, I can even resize it, make it smaller. If it is too big, I can even take it bigger by tangling through these small spots that are here. These spots are allowing me to take it inside or take it out. Take it inside, take it out. So allowed to get to do that. If I want to spin it, maybe it comes a bit in the sides. That aspect will allow me to spin the document, the picture that I've put. This one that is popping up in case there are words. So, e.g., I pick do I want this picture to be? Do I want it just to be on the free page? Do I want to be in the midst of the words? Do I want it to be nice design with the words? So if I pick the first one here, where it can interact with the words will just be on the sides and it will be on the line. So if you see this picture will allow me to be moving, to move it. It is allowing me to move this picture to any page that I just pick the picture. I'm taking it up, moving. If I want, I can take it to any different page that I want. So that will allow me to do that. So I was trying to move it further. So I want maybe just on the first page where they're okay. So I put my document, my document there. So it can be placed anywhere and you interact it differently with how you want it to fall with the words that are there, and you can resize it to the size that you feel is fitting for it to be put. So if you see that is my picture there, I can resize it fit with the other words. So we have put it in such a way that it can even show the words are passing. So different categories, different ways a document will be getting to be created accordingly to the way you want it to be designed. So and the insertion. So the insertion, we said we can insert through the pictures on the computer that are saved and it will pick from the specific location. We can go online at different shapes that we want to pick. We can also pick the smart art. So the smart art will basically give us different diagrams, how we want maybe a diagram to be. Maybe a flow. We have it's a chain or picture of the flow of information, how it's moving from a bigger size to the, you can get to pick a design that you want and information will be able to flow. You add it in your presentation and something. Once you pick it, you just click it and it will pop out. And you can likewise, like what we said, to the position where we feel we can take the arrow or the pointer of the information that we want, just like that. We can drag it, drop it, reduce the size, put it there. We can insert the words if it is numbers, 1, 2, 3. Get to do that, we can resize it, make it smaller, look nice, and something like that will come out. So it could be a flow diagram. You're trying to show how information is moving from step 1, step 2, step 3, how the stages are. You're trying to put up, it's a picture, you're trying to put it up in whatever direction you want. You can be able to do that list of information, and you can basically tag around and present your information in any basic way that you want. So there are charts that you can be adding. You want to show the charts, maybe comparison. You want to take a screenshot, your camera is connected, you take a screenshot, then you'll be able to add it. There are different things that you can basically get to insert in the insert segment. There are some parts where we can insert the word art. Remember the word art, the design of where can be put. We can also do the page numbers. So if I want to put numbers to the pages, if you can see here, the computer does automatically the calculation, tells me page. So the page I'm operating on where the cursor is blinking from now is page 2, but the total number of pages are 3. But when you see the page where it is ending here, there's nothing that is showing. So if I can go, if I want, I can pick the page number. And if I just click on that, it will show me the sample. How do I want the page to be? Do I want them on top or do I want them at the bottom? So like that on top, the pages, the numbers will be on top. Bottom, they'll be there. Page margins, and all that. So I want them maybe to be at the bottom and the numbers will pop up like that. So you see the numbers are popping up from here. So this is number 1, number 2, just like that, because page 1 was the first page. So we have not to have exempted it from the listing. So you can put a page header and you can put a footer. So from there, we saw the header. So the header, I can just name it SmartNet document. Sorry, I think that SmartNet document. Okay, so that information I actually wanted to drop it in there. Okay, yeah. So basically, you can just put okay. So the SmartNet information. Basically, and information will be spread just like that. So that's how we get to add and subtract and be able to use the insertion segment. And away from that one, you're going to check there is a footer, there's a number, you're able to add the page numbers, you're able to put a signature, we're able to add time. Then we are also having a segment where we can attach and add symbols. So that is what we can see. That is on the insertion design. The design, it's for changing the format, how we want this information to be presented. If you see our page, when we pick this information, 1, 2, 3. Okay, seems my cursor is pressing on its own. So we can design and in any different, and everything that will be able to flow as one. This is very important assignment. Now that assignment that you're making, information has been picked maybe from different pages online and they have different fonts. So now we want them to put that everything can fall through. So this one will get to help you that everything can fall in one line. So the font, the themes, you are able to change the theme and you're able to make the page look as beautiful as one font or one format can be allowed, accepted. You can even change the colors. So you have all those colors you're able to, then you can even put what we call the watermark. So the watermark is basically, e.g., you can pick the type of a watermark that you want. You can even customize it. So either you can put confidential. So confidential will be showing down. Whatever words that you put on top, there'll be confidential that will be down. But if you want to customize it, you can put, it will pop up, a tab will pop up, then you are able to input the words that you want to write there. Once those words come, those are the words that will be there. That's how people protect their document. So they'll be, it will allow them to put information that they want, and it will go just like that. So as we want a text, what do we want to enter in the text? We want to enter the SmartNet. Enter. So whatever we are indicating, the document that we are doing is a SmartNet Edu Center. So our SmartNet Edu Center, you see it will be popping on all the pages underneath. SmartNet Edu Center. Everything that will be written will be like that. And we can likewise remove it, uh, just like the way we said it can be added and it can be removed. That is just from here, you just go and remove the watermark or add the watermark. Now the color page. If you saw the first page that we had some very fancy color that made it maybe difficult for all the words to be seen. So when we come to design, we're able to pick a page color that is fine for us to view everything. E.g. this one, this blue. This makes it, wow, better and easy viewing, that this information can look nice. Something can be done to our page that in on. We can get to change the color of the page and make it in any way that we want, such that the information will look smart when we go and save it, and some things will be highly highlighted and information will come out as such. So we're trying to design something. Then the page borders. So page borders is basically you are trying to create a background around the document that you've put across. So they are what you call 3D. Sometimes none, you don't want anything, just a box, just a part of a segment, shadow, the 3D. So I'll show you the 3D one. So the 3D here is something that will be around the border of the page. So you choose the dimension that you want, you pick the color, if there's a art, you pick which one to be around your pages. You want some trees, the page will come out like this. And do you want the whole document? Okay, no, the first page only, except the first page. So the rest of the pages will come out with that, and poof, so that pops up. So the rest of the pages will come out and have this page background. That is the page border. So basically, that is just that. It will just get to change the information, uh, the page, so that at least the information can be, the borders can come out in such a manner, like nothing will be showing. So we come to the layout, page layout. So page layout, basically, it is going to allow us to change the page in a way that we want it to, to be presented in. So the orientation, we have the page margins, so we can change the margin. How close do we want this to reach the furthest end? Want it to come in the center, to want it to be further away, so that we give room for papers to be, information to be there. So we can pick the page type, the layout size that we want. The orientation, we can pick. Do you want it, the paper to be showing in the landscape orientation? So in the length, so that will be in that direction. But when we want it to be changed to the portrait, it will be in the area state that it was. Then the size in, size out, we're able to reduce with columns. All those we're able to do up the page breaks, line numbers. A lot of things can get to be done. And here we can do a manual inputting in terms of the spacing. Sometimes you have an assignment, they tell you no 1.5 maximum spacing. So you are able to input that information. And once you put in the document, information will flow as expected and everything will be as such. So basically this one is for the layout, is basically how the information will be produced, how the paper will physically get to be, the information will be presented out. So we come to references. Uh, references is mostly people get to like it for the table of content, because once you just come to click on the table of content, it will automatically pick you a table of content. So you pick some information, you find that some information you pick, then you put a table of content. It will be format hasn't found. But if the information was just flowing as one, it will pick a table of content and tell me what information is on which page. So e.g., we're talking about Microsoft Office Word. So if we're talking of Word, uh, then we categorize in different segments. The specific page where that information is, it will put, so it will give us the contents and the page numbers where that information can be found. So this is good usually when you're working with a book, you're trying to work with a book, you're going to work well with it. Away from that references, we have the citation. So you see some, especially this assignment writing and such, it will allow you to insert some information, be it your biography or bibliography or autobiography, your life history, someone else's life history. You insert them so that whenever you are writing something, you don't need to keep rewriting that information. You just need to go and automatically it gets to insert. And sometimes it will cite, especially in the net, when you got some, you extracted some information on the net, it will give a line where that information came through, and it will insert in the order as per your institution require. So that one is such. So then we come to the mailing. Mailing segment, it's basically now this information you have now want to share it. So it's more like an interactive page. So you can even merge that mail, share with others. Others will be able to read that information and alter it, especially if you're editing information and you're connected to the net. You can send to other people and other people work around it, do one or two things and keep bringing it like that. So basically, it's on outputting the information that you have to share. Then we come to the review segment. So you remember I said the vegetable was not nicely or properly pronounced or solely spelled. When we wrote it, we had made some errors and Word had already put a red line underneath it. So the spelling check on the review, it's very important. Once we come to the spell check, it will go round and it will try to give us the words, what could be the correct spelling that could have been put there. So we can get to change. So e.g., the Magnum has been gotten that we have a line on Magnum. So on the Magnum, we can get to ignore if we want to ignore it, or we can change it. So when we change and select the one that has a U, it will put Magnum like that. Then the second one, it jumps automatically, it goes to the next highlighted word. It's vegetable. So now it's telling me there is this word you have written as vegetable, but now it's supposed to be vegetable. Or do you have any other word that seems similar to that? Or is it that they were okay? Now, what they also do down here, they'll also bring me that word and tell me what it really means. They'll tell me a vegetable, there's this and that are there. So I can even see the definition of that and anything else that I want. So, okay, this is to be a vegetable. So, okay, they give me examples. I can even hear the word, how it's supposed to come out, if it is pronounced, everything. Then I say, so to make me sure, is this the information that you wanted? Then I can say, okay, it's a vegetable I was trying to talk about. I just made a mistake. So they are correct. And the vegetable will not be highlighted anymore. It will remain okay. So they come to tomato. So tomato also has been put in such a manner, they have said the grammar is not okay, the way you have put tomato. So what is wrong about it? They will explain here. It's a spacing. So the way my spacing is not okay. So they are telling me, can you consider working on this? Then your words will be okay. So if you have put my word like this, maybe this needed to be closer. So you see, I automatically correct there. It even comes back to normal. Then it keeps telling me now. So there is a word here that was not properly spaced, and I can keep correcting, and it will also give me the point where that information is. So there is a SmartNet. They are telling me maybe it needed to be separate words, and I'll come to change the SmartNet. until it tells me, okay, the grammar check is done. Now, away from there, there is a thesaurus. The thesaurus, somewhere people will read it as one word, thesaurus. I read it as thesaurus. Thesaurus is a good, works like a dictionary, so to say, but it gives us the different meaning of the other words that would give us the same word. So, e.g., I'm reading your sentence and I come to see a word, maybe glotted. This word glotted. I don't know what that means, and I want to understand. Can there be another word that I can understand that can be there? So when I come to glotted and I go on this thesaurus here, it will give me different words that means the same. So glotted, it actually means gloried, triumphed, to win over, delighted, some level of excitement, to feel on top, take pride, so I can be able to pick a different word that will make sense to the people that I'm communicating with so that they get to understand really what I'm trying to talk about. So that is what it would rejoiced, so, or exhorted. So uh, this it will give me different word meaning that I can get to where to use. Maybe my words are too shallow, then I want to capacity so that at least it can sound a little bit more complex. This is the aspect that will get to give me that. Then we come to the word count. Word count, e.g., I want to know, it's a quick summary. How many words are there? Words are these, characters, spaces, everything will be given. You saw it was according to the highlighted. So when I come here, it will give me now the actual. But if I've highlighted something, it will just give me according to the highlighted. Now, since I haven't highlighted, I come to the word count. It will count exactly how many pages are there, how many words are there, how many characters, the spaces, everything will be indicated in there. So that will give me the information that I basically need. So you come to the lookup. Smart lookup is you want a word that whatever inside of the thing that you want put. Now I want you to come to this one also. It's very good. E.g., I've written a document, uh, e.g., the way we are doing. We have prepared this presentation in different languages. There's Swahili and other people. So someone would ask, how are you managing to present this information to different people in different languages? But you cannot speak these languages. So it is simple. I'll highlight it. When I highlight that information, I'll come to translate. So I would want to translate only the selected document, or I want to translate everything. So they'll tell me, do you want to translate this document? Yes. So I want to translate the document. To which form I want to translate the document? And everything will get to be given just as per need or as per request. So you will see the information is there. Information I can base it into any different language that I want. Sorry, I just had a small challenge. Okay, so set this from English to what language do I want that information that I've selected. So it's in English. I want to translate this information to another different language. Sorry, I pressed somewhere, so my computer had tried to mess around with me. Yeah, so it's easy though. We can just take my computer back to the previous version because it has pressed itself on its own. So I'll just keep going back, back. Then it will take me to the actual information that I could have maybe made a mistake with or tried to accidentally, maybe I pressed the wrong segment. So basically the idea is I can get, you are ready to add your content, just click here and start typing. So this information that is here, I've gotten it. I can change this information to any different language now that I want. So I can take it to French. So when I take it to French, that information that I've selected there, uh, it will actually come out in French. it will actually come out in French, and I'll have that information uh, spelled out in that language. The only thing is you need a bit of some good internet so that at least you can get to work around with such information to make it easier for the translation to take a good effect. Yeah, get your information and you get to see your result. It will pop up here. Once your result pop up, you can just copy it and paste. So a document can be translated from one language to another minus much difficulties, and everything will be done in the simple format like that without major challenges. So these are the languages that you can see. There are different languages that are there. E.g., I want to change the language for the Microsoft Office that I'm utilizing here. Sometimes you tell me to download other language packages. I'll be able to work around on that. So you see, there are different changes, e.g., track changes. E.g., I'm working this document online, so there are different people that are getting to work around it. There's a friend who is typing on it. We have shared it online, so anyone, whatever they add, it's automatically added to this document. So what that allows me to track the changes, I can see the changes that I've document as of today. So I can basically get to follow through all the changes that I've done and be able to decide what I want to do with that information as per today. So it will give me from the sharing information I can accept, reject. I can even compare documents. So this compare documents is what some of the professors they get to use in schools to check this information. Did this person really mean the information they gave us that was true? So they will just come on the compare, they'll get it, you put it open on the, then you are able to check. Did this person just uplift this information from the internet? Or do these two information relate? Either something the research that has been done by another person, you do a research, they'll just enter your document and that person's document, because they have similar titles or they look to be similar, then they'll compare and it will tell them the rate percent. Same as marking. Some people would work together and only they know they do a smart work. This one enters this information, this one does that, then they are just doing some small changes here and there just to mask up the information that they have done the alteration to it. But basically, the information is one and the same. They have copied from each other. So you can have two documents, you open the two documents and compare. And when you see, you can even see that this is a replica of this, and this one, no matter how much they have changed, just the pronunciation of some words they have altered, but the information is one and the same, and you can call information as one and the same. The last one is restricting information. So restricting allows me to put a password. If I want to lock this information, I've written this information, I can enter a password so that no one can be able to work around it. Same applies, put a password on the document and also on the author. No one can work around. I can block authors uh, in such, rejecting other people from doing what. So this is just the result that had come. Earlier on, we had selected some segment, the words that are here. We took them from English, we took them to or to France. You can do up that. You want to take it to Chinese. Basically, get to do that. That information will be taken to Chinese. And once the information has been translated, you can see the information. I can get to communicate with someone and I can be using this with my WhatsApp. I talk to anyone I just type whatever they want here. I take it, I translate it, I send on WhatsApp to them as a copy paste, and we can interact with someone freely in a different language and I'll not feel any gap. When the information comes, I'll just come and drop it and take it back to English, and I'll use it as a translator in such a manner. I'll just change that information, I'll just change it, I'll put their language, I'll come and put my language here and I'll read that information or what they're trying to say. Basically, that can get to help in the communicating aspect. So on the view, basically, it's how you want this information. Maybe you're reading a document, how you want it to be shown. Part of it, we have the rulers, those ones that makes it adjust the page. How far do you want it to go inside? How far do you want to go out? You want to arrange. So sometimes you have opened a lot of words. You want to arrange all. you want them to pop up. So yeah, these one on top of the other because we had opened this one word, one document, and another one we have opened. So you are able to compare them and you are able to split them. So it gives you a lot of things that you can get to do with different documents. You can even cancel it if you are not interested. The easiest way we said we can cancel it is just to go back and your document will be back as normal as it was supposed to be when you take steps back. Because so basically uh, this is much about the Microsoft Office Word. Much of the things that you can see uh, are daily things that we have used. So you can be able to create, if you want, Microsoft Word allows you to tag around the words themselves, also makes you to work around some numbers. So it's for daily usage. And like we said, you need a daily in and you need some time you practice at your own free time so that at least you'll be able to incorporate this information deep now embedded in your head. Sometimes more use of it will make it easier for you to get to understand this information uh, properly without much of a challenges. Thank you very much, team. This marks the lecture on Microsoft Word. Please find time to go through some of the things that we've talked about with a computer. If you have or you have a friend computer, try to do one or two things so that this information can be embedded to you. Mind you, while we are doing this, it's not for wasting time, but it's a skill set we are building. So it's very important that this information and be at least to bring some meaning to you also.